the word outsourcing 100 times. Maybe from a podcast. Maybe from a friend who swears it changed their business. Maybe from an ad promising to save you 70% on labor costs. But when you try to understand what outsourcing actually means, you get lost in jargon. BPO, offshoring, nearshoring, staff augmentation, managed services. It feels like everyone assumes you already know what they're talking about. So you nod along. You bookmark articles you never read. And you stay stuck doing everything yourself because you don't know where to start. Today I'm gonna fix that. No jargon, no assumptions, just the basics you actually need to know. Let me give you some context to how big this industry actually is. The global outsourcing market is worth over $400 billion annually. Deloitte's Global Outsourcing Survey found that 70% of companies cite cost reduction as a primary reason for outsourcing IT functions. But here's what is interesting. According to Statista, 72% now say their main driver is accessing skills they do not have in-house. In 2024, the Philippine BPO industry alone employed 1.82 million people and generated $38 billion in revenue. That is about 9% of the country's GDP. Outsourcing is not a trend. It is how modern business operates. Let me break down the terms you actually need to know. Outsourcing simply means hiring an external company or person to handle the task that you could do internally. That is it. Nothing fancy. Offshoring means outsourcing to another country, usually for cost savings or talent access. When Americans hire teams in the Philippines, that is offshoring. Nearshoring, on the other hand, means outsourcing to a nearby country. For Americans, that might be Mexico or Colombia, closer time zones, similar culture. BPO stands for Business Process Outsourcing. It means outsourcing an entire business function, like customer support, accounting, or HR. Staff augmentation means adding external people to your existing team. They work alongside your employees, just from a different location. Virtual assistant means one person handling multiple administrative tasks for you. Think of it like a remote executive assistant. Managed services means you outsource the entire function and the vendor manager manages everything for you. You just receive the output. When I started Telework PH in 2018, I didn't know any of these terms either. I was a nurse who had found freelance work online. I was writing content, doing virtual assistant work, taking whatever jobs I could find that let me stay home with my baby. A client asked if I could find more people like me. That was my first outsourcing contract, even though I didn't call it that. I started with 2 people, then 10, then 32. Now we have about 1,600 employees serving clients around the world. And looking back, I wish someone had explained the basics to me clearly. It would have saved me years of confusion. Peter Drucker, the father of modern management, said, "Do what you do best and outsource the rest." That was decades ago, and the principle still holds. Sarah Blakely built Spanx into a billion-dollar company. Her advice? Hire your weaknesses. She didn't try to be good at everything. She focused on what only she could do and found other people for the rest. The most successful business owners I know are not generalists. They are specialists who build systems and teams around their core strengths. So, how do you decide if outsourcing is right for you? Ask yourself 3 questions. First, what tasks take your time but do not require your specific expertise? It could be email management, data entry, customer inquiries, scheduling, or researching. These are prime candidates. You can outsource anything that runs on rules and repetition because systems help. You should keep anything that sets direction, takes risks, or decides money. Second, what would you do with 10 extra hours per week? If your answer involves growing your business, serving clients better, or developing new products, outsourcing makes sense so you can focus on what you do best. Third, can you afford to invest before you see returns? Outsourcing has upfront costs in training and setup. The savings come over time. If you answered yes to all three, then you are ready to start exploring. Here is your challenge for this week. Track your time for 3 days. Write down every task you do and how long it takes. And then at the end, highlight tasks that someone else could do with proper training. Don't judge yet, just observe. That list is your starting point. In the next episode, we will talk about what outsourcing actually costs. Not the marketing promises, the real numbers. If this video helped clarify things, subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this series. I'm Marjorie Aviso, CEO and founder of Telework PH. We help businesses build offshore teams that actually work. Visit www.teleworkph.com to learn more. See you in the next one.